So this is it right here. This is the room where we've actually had volunteers refuse to work any more nights and leave.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Did they say what happened?
Constantly getting touched. One girl said she got pushed back into there.
In here?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember right, isn't there like a long room back there? Or am I thinking of?
What's going on, everybody? It's Marty with Haunting Across America. We're at Nightmare on 17th Street. The building itself is a haunted house during the holidays. But what if I told you this place is actually haunted every single day of the year? So I've got my buddy here, Jason. He's going to tell you a couple things while we walk around and give you the idea of what goes on in this place.
Hey, all right. Thanks for coming down with us, Marty. So we got this room right here. This is really about the fourth room that you'll encounter when coming through the haunted house, both during investigations and when people are working. A lot of complaints about being touched. You'll hear objects moving in this room. Camera batteries or cell phone batteries tend to die very quickly in here. So we tend to have a lot of charging stations set up for our volunteers so they can plug their phones in, because phones just seem to lose power a lot more quick down here. Yeah, this is one of the main rooms that even if you're anywhere else in the haunted house, you can kind of hear banging or whispering or shuffling coming from back into this corner of the area. So it's pretty interesting here. Take you into the next room here.
No, this is my favorite spot.
This is the one that we did our investigation with you guys, and we heard a lot of shuffling and rocks being thrown and whatnot. You can see it's the old stone walls. I know a couple of people that have been pelted with rocks down here. I think Keith got hit with one time when we were coming through. And also right here, yes, we do have an old pipe. It's verified it's not in use anymore, but we do get the smell of sulfur and rotting meat that seems to happen right around this area, and it seems only concentrated to this area. It's almost like walking into a wall of smell. It's horrible.
We've had that before. We walked in here before.
But it doesn't dissipate. It doesn't.
Everybody, if you hear sounds in the background, there's a game store next door, so you might hear some things back there. Not the ghosts. All the body parts. Is this where Candace had that thing?
Yes, so this is where Candace was sitting on the ground, and I believe I was sitting right here, and I think you were in that corner right there.
I think it was over here.
And, oh yeah, and we both looked over and saw something standing over her. Just a black mass was, standing over her shoulder. And if I remember, we were getting quite a bit that night. We were getting the sound of like rocks being tossed around in the room we just discussed.
It sounded like Pikachu's freaking singing upstairs and nobody was here.
Yep, when the comic book shop was closed, we heard a lot of stuff going on up there. And that's one thing you'll hear throughout is even when we're 100% sure they're closed and nobody's there, we'll hear footsteps going across the entire store back and forth.
This will be one of the places tonight we'll put our camera because we want to see if we can catch anything from here. But there was a shadow above my wife's head, just right in here behind her while she was sitting there. And it was a pretty interesting night.
And then my wife and I were running the new audio for some rooms. And we put the speaker up here, and you can see it's jammed up there very well. And we went back to go do some work in the sound room, heard a loud crash, came back, and that speaker was actually across the room. It had been thrown so hard or moved so hard that it actually ripped the speaker wires. So that was a pretty interesting one.
It's changed throughout the years, and every time we come here, we get certain different things every time. So we enjoy coming out here.
All right, into the famous maze. So there's really no hot spot in particular in the maze. It just, whatever's here seems to like to roam around. It'll touch guests, it'll touch volunteers. So one thing, it's never violent, it's never malicious. It always seems just, it likes to come up and tap you on the shoulder or bump into you and just let you know that it's here.
Not like being in a haunted house when nothing is behind you and get touched.
Exactly. And we've had quite a few volunteers that just say, okay, that's it. I've had enough for the night, and they'll leave halfway through and just kind of be done for the night with that. And I can't blame them.
Yeah, for folks who never thought a haunted house could actually be haunted, we've had some stuff in here.
Yes.
That monkey.
Yes. So that monkey, and we have this motion sensor light. God, this thing has been here for probably 15 years now, if not longer. And
surprised it's still working.
I know. And that will turn on without anybody actually walking by it. And caught the light coming on with
That's
nobody actually walking
put
through.
there tonight. See if we can catch it while we're down around.
Yeah. So here's the old coffin. This is an original coffin from the 1800s, used a couple times, I'm sure. So one thing with this, we were messing around with the digital version of the obelisk called the Morphox, and we were in this room, and we kept hearing noises back behind this curtain here, and the word coffin kept coming through. Coffin and casket were both just constantly coming through on the obelisk. We couldn't get it to say much more, but it was making a lot of noise around it, and then I kept talking about it.
So I've heard rumors about this, and if you could put them to rest or confirm that this coffin was actually found here in the building, underneath the stairs upstairs.
I believe this is the same one, yes. We do have a few coffins that have been given to us. But yeah, this is one of the older ones that, like I said, this dates late 1800s, early 1900s. I believe this is one that was found under the stage upstairs.
So that's one of the claims that happens here in the haunted house upstairs. We'll see that later on tonight. There's the reports of a young girl that's in here, and one of the reports is that her skeleton was found in this coffin. And that's just a rumor. I don't know if that's for sure. Like Jason said, he doesn't know if this is the actual coffin, but there was one that was found in the building itself. And it was rumored, thank you Jason for telling us, that it had been used in the haunted house. So now that rumor is confirmed for the most part. Let's keep going. Well, how do we know these things? Well, we know these things from years of experience walking through this place.
Hey, Jason, our buddy's still
Tipped
down.
over thing.
Yeah, that little clown doll Jason's had a few run-ins with.
So that clown doll seems to, that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tip it over and then you'll come back next day and it's sitting back up again. And we also had it, there's no batteries in it. Well, there were batteries in it when it happened, but they were completely leaking, and you know, we had to like kind of chisel.
Oh, that's the one we talked about last year.
That just turned on.
Yeah.
It started screaming at us and stuff like that. And we had walked past it for months, and it never once. Yep, got a full nose. Got it.
I just happened to see that over there.
They get better with age, right?
Yeah.
This is our Nas self.
I happened to look over. Wait, that's Nas.
All right, so this room is one of our affected rooms. This is the main room that volunteers complain about being touched, hearing voices, whatnot. This room, I've had cell phones die, I've had flashlights die with brand new lithium batteries in them too. I always try to do lithium because they last longer. More, you know, they hold up better with temperature changes.
Right.
Unless I'm going from upstairs to a cold basement, stuff like that. So we try different things like that. And batteries always seem to just drain in this room. So we'll also get a lot of footsteps in the comic book shop from this room. And then you'll see curtains move at the doorways, even though everyone can be sitting around nice and chill.
And just so you can see, there's no vents down here that'll make these curtains move. We've seen them move a few times before ourselves. So tonight we're going to be covering this place quite a bit, and particularly in this one, if we can get the, I don't know if we're going to put the track camera, one of the ones in here, but definitely going to try to get this, because this, I think last year when we had the big table right here, and this is exactly where you're telling us that people feel like they get touched.
Yes,
back
right here. Yep. And then we've also had problems with this speaker staying on the wall. It's been a few years since we've had a problem with it, but it used to just fly off the wall during haunted houses. Yeah, just in between groups coming, next thing the speaker would be halfway across the room. It hasn't done it in a while, but...
Do your guests know they're coming into a real haunted house when they come into a...
Yeah, we try to, we've got some displays we set up and, you know, kind of show some of the stuff we've gotten. And,
That'd be good to show a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah. So you can see they had to tear out. I'm interested to see what we get because there has been some fresh construction here.
I saw that. That's nice.
If you saw the light posts being put up, this is the base for the light posts. You ever want to know what the underside of a light pole in the city?
So the city came in and put this in here, huh?
Yeah. So
is this part of the tunnels back here?
No.
Oh,
God, I wish. No, all the tunnel accesses are sealed off here. They have been for pretty much since the rest of Cheyenne did it.
That sucks. One day we'll find a way down there.
Yes, I know. I've been searching for 10 years, 15 years.
There's a
But
place.
so this wall got knocked down, a bunch of construction. So, you know, hopefully, I think we all know construction and changes in a venue can bring stuff out. So
And you guys change it every year, so
yeah. And after the haunted house, a month or two after, it always seems a little more interesting.
yeah, because you got so many people trancing through it.
Yep.
And all the changes that you made for the year. I can understand. That's why this place seems to be so active, because it's constantly being worked in and people here all the time. Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it's funny, I never noticed that until last year.
That's bulging like that? That's pretty cool. The boiler room underwear. Right, where are we at? Oh, this is your dressing room.
All right, so this is our dressing room.
Smells like cake.
State of flux right now, as we're getting ready for the new season, some more renovations.
I smell cake somewhere.
Cake?
Yeah, you up over here? Oh, I was like, I smell cake.
So, yeah, in here, Keith and I had one of these doors slammed shut. We were walking through, and we actually weren't even doing a ghost hunt. We have to come and check out the building after big snows and rain, right? Make sure there's no leaks and all that stuff. And one of these doors, we were back in the maze, and we just heard, just like that, and you heard the door rattle. And there's no mistaking it. What do you say about that? You know?
I wish I had
it's
a camera.
It's not like, oh, was that a draft?
Yeah,
you know?
Those are the moments where you're like, I wish I had the camera down
Yes,
there.
exactly. So, yeah, that one made us jump pretty good.
Yes, it did.
It seems like whatever's here gets used to you. And then it seems playful. It always seems to, almost like that, you know, horror movie, right? Where they build up suspense. Is it going to happen? Nope. And then something happens.
Yes.
It's gotten really good with making people that don't jump a whole lot,
Jump.
finding ways to make people jump. So
we can attest to that. We were one night, Jason and I and Kev were all upstairs, and it was pitch black dark up there, and later on you'll see the suits of armor that are up there. And we were just sitting there doing an EVP session, and all of a sudden you hear from the main hall, you just hear a bang that sounded like a piece of armor getting trashed in there. Nothing. We went in there and there was nothing. So it makes grown men jump. It's like, you're in a haunted house, you get to play with me.
all right, so can't really show you because it's been demolished, but it was back probably right here. We used to have tool rooms, or little rooms with nuts and bolts and all the stuff we used to keep this place going. I was up on a ladder, and actually I think it was this light I was working on, and there was a shelf of nuts and bolts that probably weighed about 40 pounds right about here, and it just went flying right off the shelf and scattered all over the floor. And I mean,
sure, that made you wear your brown pants.
Yeah, I was down here by myself, and we had a mannequin on the floor. I hopped down and came around the corner, and there was a face just right there because someone had propped a mannequin up there, so that got hit.
It's just a cascading effect over
Yes,
and over.
it was. But that was interesting because that box of nuts and bolts, it was heavy, and it was about that by that, just full of steel. So
these are some of the old adventurers that have led the charge in the haunted houses. These would be cool in a frame somewhere.
yeah, and this is one thing we've made sure that they've preserved from doing the construction, kind of using this. And
Yeah, it's a piece of history right there.
97.
Yeah.
Was that the first year?
2023.
Yeah, I don't remember what anniversary we're on.
Oh,
Probably close to it. I think we're going on 30 years. So
I tell you, that kind of gives you an idea of when did this building originally get built? Do you remember? There's some pictures I have that I'll show later on in the video of the original. I never asked you guys. Did you guys ever think about put a camera system throughout the haunted house?
Yep.
And see what you catch. Have you done it yet?
I'm starting. So I've got a Ubiquity network set up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
starting to get like an IT, network going.
That way you can also do effects and stuff in the.
So,
oh, sweet.
We used to, up until 2 years ago, we ran everything off freaking CDs and aux cables. So now I've got everything running off a System 76 laptop. I do all the soundtracks for each room. Nice. I custom make each soundtrack. So, using Audacity and all that, and downloading theme songs and different sound effects and all that. And then, we got amplifiers running to each room. We're working on cleaning up cabling, but each one of these is an individual sound card, nice. USB sound card that the laptop reads. And so
awesome, starting to get up, bring technology.
Moving on up.
That's what it needs.
I got sick of the skipping CDs.
That's not a spooky air thing there.
right, I think that, yeah, that really covers it.